From the digital media studios in beautiful downtown Cadillac, this is Hold On, I Know the Answer. I'm your host, Tim. Today we are joined by our panelists, Mr. Johnson.
Hello.
Mrs. Cook.
Morning.
And Mr. Spicer.
Hello.
How about we start off with Mr. Johnson, and you can tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am a consultant here. I work here. Here. How many times? That's awkward. Okay. That's
Mrs. Cook.
I am the lovely teacher of this here class.
And, okay then. All right, Mr.
You sound
Spicer.
like you're really involved
I'll be a little
with
more
that.
descriptive. I work at the Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center as the paraprofessional in the digital media productions program with a lot of radio and television experience, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, sure. The guy with the radio background shows the rest of us up.
I was going to say, I obviously don't have that radio experience.
All right. We're going to move on to our first game now, which is called Who is Tim This Time? In this game, I will read 3 quotes from the news, and the panelists will have to guess who or what is being described. Our first question goes to Mr. Johnson.
Oh, boy.
All right. This is Who is Tim This Time? I've never been bullied into getting health insurance, but really, a fine if I don't, that would be the same as forcing Joan Rivers to pay not to get plastic surgery, as someone probably should.
Gosh, that could have been anybody. Can you give me a hint?
He's a real funny guy.
Oh, that really narrows it down. Thank you. That's. I'm gonna say.
He's a popular stand-up comedian.
Well, that also Jim Gaffigan. No, I think that you should have started with Mr. Spicer. That's what I think. But I'm really setting the bar high here. I think I'm gonna say. Oh. Yeah, thankfully there's no timer on this part of the game. Gosh, I really don't know, so I'm going to lose a point right out of the gate.
Can't guess?
Give it a
I
guess.
will guess Letterman.
No, it is Louis C.K. on Obamacare.
That was my next guess.
Yeah.
That's
Louis.
Louis?
CK?
Louis.
Louis. Can someone help out there? Go ahead, Andrea.
So
Okay.
they said that she said what? Or he said, it's a guy, isn't it? He
Yeah.
said what about Joan Rivers? Read that last part again.
That would be the same as forcing Joan Rivers to pay not to get plastic surgery, as someone probably should.
So making someone pay for health care is like making her not pay.
I get
or
it.
pay her not to get them
All right, I guess now we'll move on to Mrs. Cook.
Thank you.
when the audience shows up.
Americans took a poll saying that they didn't care for Obamacare, but halted the approach Republicans took to repeal it. Always knew the Republicans would be the death of the economy.
I have to guess who said that?
It's a little bit of a broad spectrum on this one.
Like a group?
You could say that.
The Democratic Party.
Well, there you go.
That really narrows it down.
Is that right?
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Spicer.
Yes.
I hope you've been keeping up on your news.
I try.
As you report it.
You know, I feel as if this is an attack on us from China. Now I know what you're thinking. What's new? But really, our citrus, that's just bitter.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Can you repeat it?
You know, I feel as if this is an attack on us from China. Now I know what you're thinking. What's new? But really, our citrus, that's just bitter.
Our citrus.
Our citrus.
Who attacked the citrus? China?
That is part of it.
Yeah.
But who would have said that?
Right.
You know,
Talking about world.
citrus is
They're
really
talking
the key
about
here.
they're
Where
talking
does it
about
grow?
Asian bacteria.
Asian bacteria.
Who would
Yes.
not be happy about Asian bacteria affecting citrus?
Sounds like a sci-fi show.
This is the one that I actually knew. You couldn't have led with this one?
He probably knew the other one too.
I do not have a clue.
Who? No, let's reason
Florida?
this out, Rich.
Does that have to do with Florida? Anyone in Florida?
It was sort of, and
'Cause
maybe
it's citrus.
California.
Oh.
Why am I helping him get a point?
Well,
That's-
You know,
Does
I
anyone
feel
in the
as if
audience
this
know?
is an attack on us from China.
Oh, did you write it?
Now I know what you're thinking. What's new? But really, our citrus, that's just bitter.
Just bitter.
Citrus.
Bitter.
Citrus.
Bitter citrus. It's like a fill in the blank
Vodka?
question now.
Citrus.
Let's approach this from another
Orange.
angle. Where do we get citrus from?
Florida.
Or California.
Typically.
More specifically,
An
where does
orange
citrus
tree.
grow?
A tree.
Okay.
A
A
grow.
little bit more
And then-
citrus than that.
You want me to be specitrus?
I want you to be citrus on this.
And then all of a
That's
sudden,
like-
miraculously, bushels of it just show up at our garage sales, at our gas station. No, at grocery stores. There we go.
So we're
This
getting them from
happens.
China?
The China we have gotten everywhere but here.
Wow.
No.
So who would say that?
Okay. You said Florida.
Oranges from China. It's oranges from China, right?
Oh boy, just
No.
lose the point. Miss
You
Cook's
give
in the
up.
lead.
Governor Jerry Brown.
No, it's orange growers in Florida on Asian bacteria attacking their trees.
Oh, so this wasn't one specific person that
No,
said
this
that.
It
was.
a group
I was
also.
thinking of one person. Okay.
All right.
Woo! That was a tough first
Wow,
round.
that was.
Who got the
Okay.
point on that, though? Huh,
You.
just checking.
Oh,
See,
well
that
then.
just set me up for failure now the rest of the four. No doubt.
All right. Now
I
we're gonna
say
go.
we form an alliance. This is a reality show, right?
I'm gonna get
Let's form an
kicked off for
alliance
sure.
to take her down. That should, yeah.
What?
All right. Now we're gonna move on to our news quiz. Our first news quiz. Mr. Johnson, this one's
Oh,
going to be
great.
for you.
This is a fill in the blank, right?
Yep.
Oh, thank you.
According to the British Airline Pilots Association, 56% of 500 commercial pilots admitted to blank while being on the flight deck.
Ooh.
Sleeping?
That's correct.
Oh!
There's one for
All
Mr.
right.
Johnson.
And
there
we're
we go.
illustrating right there why I never fly. That's
Our next
That
game
could've
is
got
called. What was that?
Nothing, you're good. I
Okay.
said that could have got ugly.
Oh.
But it is.
well, no, because they're getting their beauty sleep.
Oh, that's true.
That's
So they could have got pretty, but I guess they would.
Oh, okay.
But nobody ever sees the pilots, though, when you fly.
I know,
Have
and
you
that's
ever?
another reason I never fly. It's like,
Okay.
who's flying this thing? It's a locked room. You can't get up there. Not
Do
that
we
you
really
would,
know?
because then the people with the guns take you down. But
Right.
still, it's overpriced. They charge you for the peanuts.
What, you'd
now.
rather drive?
I do drive most. Yeah,
Really? Out west, even?
I'm going to St. Louis and I'm driving in November, but
okay.
that's for other reasons too. Plus, I'm cheap. That doesn't help either. But yeah,
Okay.
that's the.
All right, we're going to move on to our next game. It's called Bluff the Listener. We're going to have a special guest from our studio audience come up here. Our three panelists will read the stories out loud, and the listener will have to guess which one of the news stories is true and which is false. Can I get a volunteer from the studio audience for this? Andrea. Saw your hand go up first.
Do you want her to stand somewhere specific?
She can just. Yep,
Oh, there
bring
you go.
in-
We'll put the hot seat stool here.
All right, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to give you the first story here. And begin when you're ready.
All right.
Oh,
I
that's a
should
good
probably
sign.
share, right? No, nothing like a word you can't pronounce being the first thing you're supposed to say.
It's
can't say
Chikorito.
Chikorito and Cheryl's new mansion overlooks the pristine beach at Cabo San Lucas. Mexico's superstar soccer player Javier Hernandez Balcazar, known as Chikorito, has revealed that he has purchased a luxurious hacienda overlooking Cabo San Lucas. The $12.7 million hacienda was originally owned by Selma Hayek, but back in 2009 she showed it to Ryan Peaches Seacrest.
Peaches.
Seacrest put the Hacienda mansion up for sale on October 20th, and Chikorito heard about it from a cousin who works at the Puffy Taco Resort and Casino, which is co-owned by
That's gotta be
Ryan
made up.
and Steven Tyler.
Puffy taco.
Chikorito, who plays soccer in England with the Manchester United Red Devils, is also presently negotiating to buy Cabo's Cerveza Corona Light commemorative bull ring, as well as the General Antonio Lopez de Santa Ana Airport. He and his alluring, sexy girlfriend Cheryl Cole, who is Derek Ho's ex-girlfriend, fell in love with Cabo San Lucas when they first traveled to the city in the Mexican state of Baja California. As a side note, Cheryl is very popular in the resort town, and the townspeople call her La Chisita. There has also been some talk she may record an album in Spanish with Mexico's famed singer Paulina Rubio, who is presently judging on Simon Cowell's X Factor.
Yay for Paulina Rubio.
That was very,
Oh.
very
So
lively-hearted.
is that we're trying to figure out
Lively-hearted?
if this is true.
There's very.
Descriptive.
Number
Yep.
2,
Yep.
Nogales.
Yes,
Nogales,
ma'am.
Arizona. Border Patrol agents in the Nogales sector have reported that they stopped a car 17 miles north of the border that was traveling at a high rate of speed. The car, a 2006 Kia Spectra, appeared to have 4 flat tires. Is that the one with the hamsters? Kia?
No,
Oh,
that's the Soul.
Okay.
That's the box with wheels.
I'm sad that
Right.
I know this.
But when agents approached it, they realized that the tires were just extremely low. Upon investigation, they apprehended a total of 43 illegal aliens that had been crammed into the tiny vehicle.
It's like a clown car.
Wow. One of the agents said that one of the illegal aliens even had brought along his pet chihuahua, which he named Pinky Arapio, after Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Pinko Arapio. The 43 undocumented aliens were loaded on board a Greyhound bus and driven back to their hometown of Hermosillo in the state of Sonora, Mexico, I'm assuming.
Okay. Number 3. Vladimir Putin is a man's man. He hunts. He practices martial arts. He poses shirtless while riding a horse. He plays with leopards. He's a shining beacon of machismo in a world that's gotten far too in touch with its feelings. And soon he'll fight zombies in a video game. The game, to be released around Halloween, will feature the Russian leader doing battle with hordes of the undead, according to Variety. Whether or not Putin fights while riding a horse remains to be seen, but we do know that the zombies are led by the mystic Rasputin. Putin, with the help of an American sidekick, goes full Chuck Norris on the zombies. The game, aptly titled You Don't Mess with Putin, and not to be confused with Don't Mess with Putin, is being created by Michel Rocco Smeets, a game designer from Belgium. Smeets is also the man behind last year's mobile game Run, Snowden, Run. Smeets told Russian newspaper RBK Daily that he came up with the idea after playing the video game Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies. This is a quote. Smeets said, "I am a fan of Putin and I like his tough guy image, so he suits the role of a superhero." He was quoted as saying that in the Hollywood Reporter.
That is a good one.
Which of those stories do you think is true? I have no idea. I read one.
I'm going to go with the last one.
And that is correct. It is number 3. Vladimir Putin is going to be featured in a video game called You Don't Mess with Putin.
Not to be confused
When did
with.
Vladimir... Oh, go.
Not to be confused with Don't Mess with
Right,
Putin.
that was fun.
When did I can't even say his
Blah,
name.
blah, blah,
When
blah.
did Vladimir Putin become like the Chuck Norris of like Russian politics? It's
a good
because
question.
he's like shirtless, riding a horse, fighting zombies with a sword. It's like
Rasputin.
Rasputin.
Russian Ranger.
Whoa.
Russian Ranger.
We had an iPad soundbite that actually fit gloriously there, and I also love how that thing is like a whole slew of Russian stereotypes all rolled up into one video game.
Right. That was
It's
well
like-
written.
That was.
That kind of reminds me of him riding shirtless on a horse. Reminds me of that other old guy who just posted a picture of him without a shirt on. What's his name again?
Oh, who posted a picture?
Anthony Weiner?
No,
That's
not him. The other old
that
guy.
would fit, though, wouldn't
That
it?
would.
Like the 73-year-old guy who kind of all flabby. He's all like, I'm still young at heart.
Dick Cheney.
I hope
The
not.
golfer?
Clint
You mean the
Eastwood?
golfer? Gary Player?
Uh,
Because he's 77 and he was in some Sports Illustrated athletic.
He's just like a Spanish dude. All right, never mind. We're moving on.
Yeah,
All right,
okay.
can we dismiss Andrea now?
Yeah, get out of here. Come on. Just kidding.
Nice job.
Good job.
And Andrea, you earned a point for Mr. Spicer, so
Oh,
good
nice.
job.
Really? Because the one he read was correct? Is that how you
Yes.
get the point? Nice.
Yep.
All right, Mrs. Cook, we're going to go on to your news quiz question of the day.
Zoinks. Where's the sound effect? Boing.
I think we have a
No,
dong.
it's okay.
Anyway, moving on. I'm going to go on to a different one.
Oh, good.
An unlucky Texas high school marching band has shot to fame after an incredible pileup that was caught on camera. They went down like a stack of...
Bowling pins.
No, it is dominoes. I'm sorry.
Stack of dominoes. Bowling pins don't get stacked either. I don't know. I was trying to think of what stacked. Tuna cans was really what came to mind first of all. I don't know what that means. Tuna
You
cans.
stack tuna cans in the cabinet.
I guess,
it's
but-
easier to store them.
It is. It really
All
is.
right, now it's time for Not My Job, where we interview an actual person. Well, that's
As
debatable.
opposed to the inactual people you usually interview.
It's debatable whether
That's
they're
debatable whether they're an actual person or not,
Oh,
because we all have that inept fear of cyborgs. Anyway,
Most
and
of
ask
us.
them questions about things they actually don't know about. Today we are interviewing.
Day.
Mr. Johnson, and here we have Mr. Johnson. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank
suppose.
you.
That wasn't dug up, you know.
No.
Who wrote that script?
Oh, you.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Go.
I'm sitting here with a teacher consultant, and today the quote is, "Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it," said by whatever his name is. So, first, I'm going to let you simmer on that, but first, why don't you tell us what you do as a teacher's consultant?
Oh, well,
How much time do we have, John?
How much time do we have? Yeah, I could go on for hours. It's all about
Let's
me,
not.
you know. That's, when I'm down here in this building, I sort of try to hide people's peas in their mashed potatoes.
That's a great way
Really?
to put it.
What do you mean by that?
Miss Cook gets
Apparently
it.
I'm
No.
the only one that got it, though. Yeah,
No, I work down here at the Career Tech Center as a consultant, and what that means is I work with programs to help their standards or the things that they're supposed to teach mix with standards from, in this case, English language arts or social studies. But I do it in a way where ideally they don't know that they're being fed the peas. And then
Hold on.
it's all over, and boom! Suddenly, it's like, "Hey, we just read Shakespeare." No, we didn't do that here, but that's the equivalent of it. I make all these things mesh up and match together, and disguise it as
A weaver of
fun learning.
sorts.
Correct, a weaver.
A weaver
Yes.
of lies.
Well,
A weaver
no,
of lies and
of
deceit.
standards.
Yes,
That's what I was thinking.
that's what it really said on my name badge.
A weaver of lies.
A weaver of lies and deceit. And
Welcome.
you work up in the general education building as well, don't you?
I do. That's the other part of my job. I'm shared by 11 ISDs, but up there I teach teachers.
You teach teachers to
I
teach
do.
their students. And what do you teach these teachers?
Well, it's my job to stay up to date on all the changes and all the things that are changing for the lives of the teachers. New research, new policies, etc. And it's my job to help deliver that to them in a way that they, I'm hiding peas and mashed potatoes up there too.
So you're force feeding them too, then.
I guess, yeah. That's
Eat your taters. Anyway,
taters.
you seem to have a lot of fun down here. Do you guys have fun up there?
I do. We do. We get along. I get along with the people I work with down here pretty well. I get along with the people I work with up there pretty well. It's a great place to work.
All right. So I guess now, after we've let that set in, we're gonna reread this quote and ask you a few questions.
Oh boy.
Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it, said by whatever his name is. So we have a couple questions about Doom. In 2005, action-adventure horror film Doom is about space marines that are sent to investigate strange events at a research facility on Mars, but find themselves facing killing machine. Who is one of the star actors? A. Sting. B. Carl Urban. C. Brad Pitt. Or D. Denzel Washington.
Oh, geez. I even have this game on my laptop, and I couldn't tell you who the voice actors are. I was hoping it was going to be something easy, like what planet does it take place on, and then I'd totally nerd out and say Mars, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's right, but that's not the question, and I'm quickly running out of stall time here.
Didn't work out.
Could you read me the answer choices again? The voice actors?
No, the actors
Of the
The
movie.
actors.
of the movie, the
Oh, in the
2005
movie.
action-adventure horror
The
film.
movie. Okay, that's better. I missed the film part.
Sting. B. Carl Urban. C. Brad Pitt. Or D. Denzel Washington.
I think it's Carl Urban.
And that is correct. It is Carl Urban.
All right.
We're going to move on to our second question here.
Oh, boy.
In the DC game Doom, created December 10th,
There you go.
1993, they had several different games that kept making to expand Doom. How many have they made? A. 4. B. 1. C. 3. Or D. 2.
R2D2.
R2D2, C3PO.
Correct.
Gosh, I have Doom 3 on my laptop, but I think they made another one. So was 4 a choice?
Yes, 4 is a choice.
I just have to get 2 right to get the point. So I'm going to go with... Oh, boy, should I do this? Oh, I'm going to go with 4.
No, that is not
Oh.
correct. It is C3.
Oh,
They
PO.
only made
Okay.
3 games.
They did.
But then they made the
The movie.
they made another game, not another game. They made a redo of Doom 3 on the Xbox 360.
That's probably what I'm thinking of then. Doesn't help because I didn't. Now I have to get this one right to get the point. So if I understand the rules correctly.
And you wrote them.
No, I
Sorry.
believe that's Carl Castle.
That's
so
true. He said them anyway.
The show Doomsday Preppers aired its first in 2011 on National Geographic Channel. What was the name of the first ever episode of Doomsday Preppers? A. Preppers. B. Bullets. Lots of bullets. C. It's gonna get worse. Or D. Extreme Prep Edition.
Oh man. It's gonna get worse is really just the premise for the whole show. Like, you're gonna watch this and it's not gonna get any better after this. So I don't think that that's the answer. What could you read my choices again? The pilot episode was called what? What are my choices?
A. Preppers. B. Bullets. Lots of bullets. C. It's gonna get worse. Or D. Extreme Prep Edition.
You know, keeping in mind that high school students wrote these questions, I'm going to go with D because I don't even know what that word means.
No, it's not. It's A. Preppers.
Darn it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. You
I
get
am
no
just
points for this one.
Knocking it out of the park today, aren't
It's all
I?
right.
That's-
They're tough questions.
They are. You guys are good at this. I like
We
that.
are.
Now
That was Jeff.
we're going to move on to news question 3 for panelist Mr. Spicer, the Spice Dog. Our news quiz of the day today. A judge in San Diego, California, has officiated a marriage minutes after sentencing the groom to 53 years in prison for blank.
Murder.
That's correct. Mr. Spicer gets a point. And now we are going to move on to today's Limerick Challenge.
Oh, boy.
We have 3 news-related limericks with the last word for the phrase left out, and each of our panelists will have a chance at 1 more point each. I'm going to read our listener limericks.
Yeah, what are our scores?
Mr. Spicer is in the lead with 2 points, and you and Miss Cook are tied with 1.
Tied for last. Bringing up the rear. That's...
Way to go, Mr. Spicer.
All right, today our listener limerick challenge. Tongue-tied. Limerick. Limerick. For Mr. Johnson, we have this. Look ho as we shoot upon the stars. Another world that is without cars. The ship is alive, we will not deprive as we step out on our new planet. Blank.
Mars?
Yes, that's correct. Ding, ding, ding.
Beautiful.
Okay, Mrs. Cook.
Try not to peek.
The creep's not making a sound. Not one knows when he will be around. The children are scared. They say he's impaired. The random, creepy, frightening blank.
Can you read it again?
The creep's not making a sound. Not one knows when he will be around. The children are scared. They say he's impaired. The random, creepy, frightening blank.
Hound? Ground? Clown?
Clown. There it is.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's...
Heck yeah. I'll take it.
You know, a lot of people have that clown fear. And
Oh, I have that clown fear.
I'm one of them. I think that... Ah! Oh, we...
Almost scared you
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Clowns and needles and clowns with needles.
Oh,
gosh.
that's... Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's yucky.
Like, moving on to our third limerick for Mr. Spicer here.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
I am.
All right. She stabs and stabs until her last breath, like that of a lady from Macbeth. She killed her mother, stopped by her father. The end result happened to be
Death.
There you go, Mr. Spicer with another point. Moving on.
Easy.
Wow.
Nice job.
Now,
I love that death is the answer to
One,
something.
one answer was murder, and the other answer was death.
And one was clown.
And one was
Oh,
clown. No,
yours.
Mars.
Yeah.
Mars.
Yeah.
Of his. His
No,
answers?
no, I didn't answer Mars.
Oh, okay.
One
Death
is murder
clowns
and one
from
is
Mars.
oh,
Death clowns.
We got a new movie.
oh man.
I think
So-
Sci-Fi's working on that right alongside Sharknado 5.
oh my gosh.
Sharknado.
All right, I guess now we can move on to our last game. Now it's time for Lightning Fill in the Blank, the game where our panelists have 1 minute to answer as many questions as they can. Score Scorekeeper,
Creeper.
can you give us a rundown of points?
Oh.
Mr. Spicer is currently in the lead with 3 points, and Mr. Johnson and Miss Cook are tied with 2.
All right, so it's really anybody's game, right?
Anybody's game.
All right, so Mr. Timer, sir, are you ready? And we're going to start with Mr. Johnson today.
Oh boy. When he gives you the signal, hit the gong.
Okay.
Our really high-tech
That
gong.
means the 1 minute
Yep.
signal? Okay.
All right,
Hold it up near the mic, too.
Okay.
and timer, start the timer.
Once he finishes the
Once
first,
I finish the first sentence. Blank triggered an explosion and fire at University of California, Berkeley on Monday morning.
Propane.
No. 2 brothers in Lansing are getting charged for stabbing and hanging a blank.
Pitbull. I saw
That's
this
right.
one.
Under a global microscope for chemical warfare in its country, the Syrian regime took the world stage at the blank on Monday.
The G8 summit. No. But yes.
No.
No.
Close.
Thanks to the government shutdown, the National Zoo's panda cam is blank.
Shut down.
That's correct. Authorities in Florida are currently looking for a man who tried to pay his water bill with blank.
Heroin. No.
No.
Cocaine.
Yes.
Potato.
A New York man who was out Sunday celebrating his anniversary with wife and 2-year-old daughter was blanked by members of a motorcycle gang in front of his family and onlookers.
Run down. Or run over. Like, I saw that, he was, run, spit it out. Run over. Not run, he was forced off the road.
Time's up.
If I keep talking, it's eventually going to be
Yeah.
right. So he was
But
run
your
off the road.
time's going to run out.
And
but-
he was brutally beaten. I will give that for him.
Thank you. All right.
The average price of heroin, cocaine, and cannabis has
The
decreased.
gong went off.
The gong
but
went
it's
off,
not
so,
going
yeah.
off.
Yeah, she's up there trying to work.
I'm
There's a little
curious,
play
though, the
button.
average...
Yeah, can you see that's paused now? Because I played it.
Yeah, and it's got to go back to the beginning.
You didn't turn the volume up.
The volume is as high as it will go.
No, it
I
wasn't.
probably turned it
Oh,
down
she
as I
probably
was
turned it down,
starting.
yeah. There we go.
There's the timer!
So that's the volume on the bottom, not
So
the play
they're
line.
2 points each. How many points did I
I'm
get?
new
I'm
to
curious
this.
about this.
I don't have an iPhone.
Gained 8 points in that round, putting you at 10.
You gained
right.
8. Wow.
I'm in the lead.
Okay, now you can gong.
Now I can gong.
Bang a
Okay.
gong.
You can gong
All
if
right.
you want to.
Timer.
You go, friends
Are you ready
behind.
again?
Because your friends don't gong, and if they don't...
Gong.
Then there.
No friends
friends
of
of
mine.
It's the 80s.
Okay.
Flashback.
After the Sandy Hook
I have
shooting,
those. Sorry, am we going?
after the Sandy Hook shooting, Gainesville City Schools in Georgia has decided to keep blank in a safe.
Oh, guns.
Yeah, that's right. Congress still gets paid. Shutdown doesn't hit their blank.
Paycheck. Salary.
Wallets, same thing. I'm going to give it to you. Greek far-right crackdown followed by violence. Blank.
Greek far-right crackdown?
That's what it says.
Government,
By
what do you
violence,
call
blank.
that? Coup.
No, spike.
Greek. Oh,
Baghdad car bombing kills at least blank.
12.
No, 55. Pop star Miley Cyrus wanted to do something fun for her first cover story in Rolling Stone, so she decides to get a blank.
Foam finger?
No. Jacksonville International Airport was shut down by nearly 5 hours and delaying outgoing flights after police found 2 blank.
Jaguars.
No, suspicious packages. I'm sorry.
The Miley Cyrus question? What was the Miley Cyrus question again?
She decides to get a tattoo.
Oh,
Immediately I
Okay.
went dirty.
Brandon, what is...
You got 4 points that round,
Oh.
giving you 6 points.
meaning I'm still in the lead.
Let's see if Mr. Spicer can top Mr. Johnson here.
Brandon, how many do I have to get right here?
2.
2 points each?
You have to get
Oh,
2 points each, then you would have to get like 5 right.
like
5 or 4? Mr.
4.
Jake has 10, right?
4.
So I need 11. Okay, so I'm shooting for 4.
Okay. Mr. Timer, are you ready? All right. A Massachusetts woman accused of blank from a nonprofit special needs children is now facing charges.
Embezzling.
Right. Many people are leaving for a planet then do not want to come back. The planet is blank.
Mars.
Right.
the theme today.
Experts are confused because of the 6 predicted hurricanes. Only one happened. It's to set a record of blank.
Say it again.
Many people experts are confused because of the 6 predicted hurricanes, only one happened. It set a record of blank.
Lack of tropical storm development.
No. NASA's Scasan spacecraft currently orbiting Saturn found that the atmosphere of them contains blank, a material used to create plastic.
Science question. Skip it.
Okay. South Korea and the U.S. have mapped out a new strategy to protect against nuclear and chemical weapons from
North Korea.
That's right. A Louisiana pension fund will lead U.S. litigation accused Lululemon Athletica of fraudulently hiding defects that caused blank to become nearly sheer.
Close.
Yoga pants. No. Doesn't count.
Oh, I'd give him it. I'd give
All
it
right,
solid.
give it to him.
Oh, that was the difference between... Yeah.
At the gong. Well, don't you think? If I said close, it was yoga pants. I'd want that point.
Yeah, that would be.
You got darn close.
And
So who's our winner this week?
Brandon?
Spicer with 11 points.
Mr.
Good
Spicer!
job, Mr. Spicer!
Nice work.
Mr. Spicer, you win absolutely nothing.
Thank you.
You win bragging rights. That's
You
what
win
yeah.
bragging rights and an unbruised ego.
Right.
For an entire
And your voice.
2-week period.
And your voice on my answering machine.
If
right.
you want my voice on your answering machine, I can do many different voices.
That's right. You pick a voice.
Thank you for calling Mr. Spicer. Leave a message at the beep.
I think more
All right.
of a Woody Allen thing
Only
would
if it
be.
can be a limerick, right? Maybe
Oh.
Arnold doing a limerick.
Arnold Limerick, that might be a little difficult for Arnold.
That's your daily challenge.
That was exactly 30 minutes.
All right,
Once was a man from get in the car if you want to leave.
sit down.
It is not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. Well, that has been all we have time for today on Hold On, I Know the Answer. This has been Tim, your host, brought to you by Cereos, the off-brand of Cheerios, and Golden Nuggets, the off-brand of McDonald's chicken nuggets. It's made the same way, taste the same, but are cheaper. This has been Hold On, I Know the Answer, brought to you, or special guests are brought to you by the WMCTC, Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center. Mr. Johnson, Mrs. Cook, and Mr. Spicer, we thank you for having us, being on the show today.
Thank you for having
And
us.
See you on the 18th.
I love you all, and good night.
Good night.
Yay!
Nice job, guys, with the writing.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Those were fantastic questions. You never know what to expect the first time you do something like that, and that was great.
You guys nailed it.
You
That
did.
was really good.
You did.
So did everyone.
You did.
So did everyone.
You did.
So did everyone.
You did.
So did